Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
Oh, what do you want? You're supposed to be sprawled naked on that rug with the family jewels out.
Yeah, well, about that. Could I just ask you a couple of questions first?
Blow me. A model who's shy and chatty. It must be my birthday.
I hear you did the restoration of that painting that got stolen recently in Paris?
I might have. It's a fine piece. You can smell the pain in every brushstroke.
Do you know a Russian called Madovsky?
You know Madovsky?
Everyone in the London art scene knows Madovsky.
And everyone in the London art scene who likes their kneecaps knows when to keep their trap shut.
I had no need to walk out onto the balcony. I wasn't going to mess around with that wiring. Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
What now?
But I thought you were a restorer, but you're working on this painting from scratch.
Well, yeah. Look, some clients want a painting that they don't own, restored from scratch, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Don't worry, sunshine. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, about this naked sprawling.
Oh, what's up? Afraid of the shrinking effects of a cold warehouse?
No, it's just.
First time? A little embarrassed? Well, if it helps, we can all get naked.
No, definitely not.
Well then, what are you waiting for? Let the monkey see the nuts.
We had a saying in the Stobbart family. If a job's worth doing, then do it with your pants on. Tell me more about La Malédiction.
Why all the interest in that picture? We're not at the Slade now, Sonny Jim.
Are you sure you won't talk about Madovsky?
Are you deaf? I already told you to drop the subject.
How long have you been using Lady Piermont as a model?
Using her? I can't get rid of her.
Showing that to Hobbs was not a good idea. It's a little musty in here. Do you mind if I spray some of this around?
Brett! Good Lord, man! Put it away! It'll strip the paint off me canvas!
Showing that to Hobbs was not a good idea. I knew he wouldn't be interested. I have a letter for you, Mr. Hobbs.
From the model agency. Bane in my life, models. Speaking of which, why have you still got your clothes on?
How about a top-up, Mr. Hobbs?
Oh, don't mind if I do. Hi, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to take a look at some of your pictures. You're very good.
I know, and that portfolio is private. I'm not paying you to gawp around my studio. Get your blooming clothes off!
Sorry. I didn't need to sit. It was time for action.
Hey! Leave that dial alone. The heating gobbles up all the power and the circuits can't take it.
Sorry. I turned the thermostat down again. I wasn't going to mess around with that wiring. Wow, an old Bofson Wang stereo. I hadn't seen one of those for years. The record had stopped. It was Jasmine Breeze by the Hairy Lobsters. Hobbs seemed to have a thing for 70s psychedelic jams. Burroughs, Dick, Rand. Hobbs liked his literature heavy and paranoid. The stereo was switched off. Adjusting the volume wasn't going to make any difference. I turned the volume up a few notches. I turned the volume down again. I turned the volume up a few notches. It was a shaky old elevator that would once have lifted goods between the floors. Lady Piermont.
Oh, George, be a darling and sort the heating out in here.
I'll see what I can do. So how are we going to get a peek inside that folder?
Perhaps your lady friend over there could help.
Lady Piermont? Well, she has many, assets, but subtlety isn't one of them.
Who said anything about subtlety? We need to distract Hobbs, and she's certainly distracting. No, excuse me, but you're casting a shadow.
Wary of any more life-changing surprises, I decided against exploring behind the screen. It was locked. I wondered what was behind the door.
Hey, stop meddling with that. The power's ropey enough as it is.
Blowing the power would certainly have distracted Hobbs, but the elevator alone wasn't going to trip the whole system.
George, sweetheart, could you do something about the heating in this place?
It was a shaky old elevator that would once have lifted goods between the floors.
George, sweetheart, could you do something about the heating in this place?
Hey, I'm still drinking that.
How about another whiskey?
Oh, don't mind if I do. Hey,
Sorry, but Lady Piermont is cold. I thought...
look, pal, I know it's brass monkeys in here, but the wiring in this building is ancient, and the fuse box won't take it. Her Majesty will just have to get used to chapel hat pegs.
Lady Piermont, Mr. Hobbs won't let me turn up the heating.
Well, we'll soon see about that.
Oh, crumbs.
If you do not adjust the heating, I shall refuse to cooperate.
Lady Piermont, it's the circuits. They won't take the strain. You know what old buildings are like.
In which case, I see no reason for this session to continue.
Whoa, Lady Piermont, let's not be too hasty. I'm sure I can accommodate your needs.
Good. Perhaps you can start by letting George here turn up the heating.
Oh, go ahead then, but be careful. The power in here is temperamental.
I turned the thermostat up as far as it would go. I wondered if the suspicious wiring could be used to my advantage. How about another whiskey?
That's smashing. Pour away.
Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
Hold your horses, will you? We could chat in the pub once I've finished this.
Hobbs was real. Hobbs looked mean. I decided to leave the glass alone. Excuse me, Mr. Hobbs.
Hold your horses, will you? We could chat in the pub once I've finished this.
Hobbs was real. A word, if I may, Lady Piermont.
For you, George, I'm all ears. How can I help?
Lady Piermont, we need your help.
How thrilling! What do you need? Subterfuge? Legerdemain?
Actually, I just need you to step on that lift behind you.
Oh, but of course. Is this good, George, darling?
Perfect. Now, just stay right there. I decided to wait until Hobbs was painting again. That would annoy him the most. Now, it was one of Hobbs' sketches. More of Hobbs' sketches. The model looked familiar. More of Hobbs' sketches. The model looked familiar. Impressionist sketches. Well, it wasn't La Maledictio, but it did appear to be a study for an element of the painting, the Ouroboros. There was something different about the image in the center. I figured the sketch might come in handy, so I took it.
What the heck are you doing with those? They're private papers.
Huh?
Well, that was fun. Just like when you were a private dick, George.
So, you're not models?
No, Mr. Hobbs.
Well, you can't be a copper. You're not stupid enough. So what the blazes are you doing in my studio?
We're investigating the theft of La Maledictio.
I told you I just restored it. That's what I do. Restore paintings.
And these sketches?
Studies done during the restoration. Nothing more. I've got naught to do with what happened after that painting left this studio. How was I to know it was going to get Henri killed?
Hang on a second. How do you know Henri's dead?
Look, he and I went back a long way. Le Lézard Bleu was on the ropes, so I got the painting into his exhibition. Nothing like this was supposed to happen.
But something did happen, Hobbs. Your friend lost his life.
Look, I'll help you however I can, but this mess is way above my pay grade. What do you want to know?
I'd just taken the sketch from Hobbs's portfolio. Now wasn't the time to hand it back. How come you needed to make so many sketches of the painting to restore it?
Restoration's not about throwing a load of paint around. It takes research. The Serpent is a complicated painting. A lot of subtext. A lot of symbols.
Tell me about the symbols in La Maledictio.
Very Christian, deeply religious, but not exactly orthodox.
The sort of thing that would upset a priest? There was one at the gallery telling everyone how evil it was.
As I said, it's not exactly orthodox, and the church can be very touchy about orthodoxy. Especially now they can't just burn anyone they disagree with.
We have reason to believe that Madovsky is mixed up in the theft of La Maledictio.
Eh? What would he gain from stealing his own painting?
We have strong evidence that Madovsky is not the real owner.
You'll have a hard time proving that. Madovsky has a full set of provenances for the painting. It traces its legitimate ownership all the way back to the painter.
Well, why didn't Madovsky mention him?
Because they're not with him. Henri's got them. Or had them.
And Henri is dead.
So ask his partner.
Lane?
Lane, yeah, Lane. Look, pal, you're wasting your time looking for conspiracies here. And you're wasting my time if you're not actually going to get naked. Go get the providence from Lane, and everything will turn out hunky-dory.
But it also puts Marquez's story into question.
Not my problem, darling. Now both of you, get lost. I've got a painting to finish.
And we have a critic to interrogate.
Someone's lying, but who?
Is it the gangster or the old Spaniard?
The painter or the art critic?
I need to head back for Nave's reconstruction.
What about the evidence from Medovsky's house? Will you give it to Nave?
I think I should. And I can put the squeeze on Lane. Ask him about the provenance.
Good. I've got lunch with Ronnie tomorrow. This story is hotting up, and I want to make sure he keeps me on it.
Taxi? Here I was again at the crime scene. Inside the gallery, I could see lots of activity. Nave preparing for the reconstruction, no doubt. Nico and I had a good idea who the killer was. Now all we had to do was persuade Nave.
Sir, I already tried starting it up. I think it's broken.
Nonsense, Moo. This machine has the power of 10 investigators.
But investigators never fail to start up, sir.
Your pessimism is duly noted, Moo. But have faith. This machine will analyze the scene, compute the data, and deduce everything for us. The location of the second shooter will be a mystery no more. One moment.
A marvel indeed, sir. Though at the moment it is kaput.
Your pessimism has obviously infected the circuitry. Let me think for a moment.
If I could just...
Shh!
Eh bien, Moo, now try realigning the laser matrix.
Sir, I have no idea what that is.
Move over, Moo. Now, let me see. Oscillating reverberator? Check. Refraction spectrometer? Check. Now, what can I do? Ah, Monsieur Stobbart, it's only you. Glad you could finally make it.
Inspector, I've got some good news and some bad news.
Oh, yes? I shall be the judge of that.
I think I know who the killer is.
Really?
Yep, he's a gardener called Shears living in London.
Fascinating. And the good news?
We don't need to do your reconstruction.
You joke with me, Monsieur Stobbart.
It's not a joke. This guy Shears was working for a Russian ex-mobster. It's all part of a highly complex fraud.
Gardeners, KGB, fraud. You are a fantasist, monsieur. And I have no time for fantasy. Reality is my suitcase, as you Americans say. Now, stand over there and keep out of trouble until the others arrive.
Well, who are we waiting for?
Mademoiselle Collar and Father Simeon. Please, I am very busy. Ah, Moo, a clever choice. But no cigar for you. Try the red.
Mon Dieu!
Lane.
Stobbart.
What do you think of Moo?
Who?
The policeman with Nave.
I assume he's another idiot.
Why's that?
I believe one can tell a man by the company he keeps.
I'll bear that in mind, Mr. Lane. I gather you're the man to ask about the provenance for the painting.
For La Malediccio? Well, you have been busy, haven't you, Stobbart?
I'd like to see it.
So speak to Bijou. She took care of the business side of the gallery. The provenance is in the office safe. She has the key.
Lane was a pushover when you had him cornered, though it looked like Bijou hadn't been completely honest with me after all. I needed to pay her another visit. What do you think of Nave?
The man is a buffoon. I have better things to do than wait for these idiots to get their forensic whatnot to work. The only silver lining is that Nave seems more annoyed than...
What's the deal with that device over there?
It's a farce. They've been trying to get it working for hours.
Looks like something out of a 50s sci-fi movie.
It probably is.
Okay, thanks.
Yes.
Sir, I think we are ready to fire her up.
Yes, Moo, I was just about to say the same thing. Do it. Moo, what have you done?
Pardon me, sir, but I believe it was you who said...
This is no time for blame. You have broken the machine.
Mon Dieu.
It was pointless trying to get a closer look at the machine while Nave and Moo were tinkering with it. Inspector Nave, may I ask you some questions?
You must wait, monsieur. I am extremely busy.
Sure, it can wait. Excuse me.
Please, monsieur, I'm a little busy.
The bust stared haughtily at me. I wondered who it was modeled on.
Monsieur Stobbart, please remain within the main gallery.
If I pulled the plug out, I'd just get Nave even more worked up. I decided to bide my time and wait for the right moment. If I pulled the plug out, I'd just get Nave even more worked up. I decided to bide my time and wait for the right moment. That was where La Malediccio used to hang. The gap where La Malediccio once hung. Challenging and experimental, like the $85K price tag. Nico, how's it going with Ronnie?
I'm avoiding him. He wants to take me off the story. How about you?
This reconstruction is a total waste of time.
I'll be over soon. Just finishing up here. Let me know if anything exciting does happen.
Will do.
See you later.
Can I ask you something else?
If you must.
What does it do?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Is Nave a good detective, do you think?
He's as good a detective as I am a dancer.
You light on your feet, Lane?
Do I look like I am?
So Bijou can get me access to the provenance?
Yes, as I said.
You've been most helpful, Lane.
Do push off, Stobart.
Changed your opinion of Moo yet?
Who?
Moo.
Who?
Never mind. Okay, thanks.
Yes, yes.
I didn't want to waste time talking about everything in my pockets. I didn't want to waste time talking about everything in my pockets. I was going to talk about that, but then I remembered I had a lot to do. I was going to talk about that, but then I remembered I had a lot to do.
Stobbart. Monsieur Stobbart, you will not leave until this is over. Understood?
But I just need to...
This is a reconstruction. You will remain here until I have concluded my investigations. Do I make myself clear?
Okay, clear. I considered making a run for it, but forcing Moo to chase me would have been cruel. And it would have been silly to risk my investigation. Better to play along with Nave and get the reconstruction over as quickly as possible. It was pointless trying to get a closer look at the machine while Nave and Moo were tinkering with it. I had to hurry up and get out of there, not waste time discussing everything I ever picked up. Inspector Nave. What seems to be the problem?
Monsieur Stobbart, if Paris' finest cannot get this very expensive and very complex machine to work, then I doubt if an insurance salesman can...
I'm an insurance assessor, actually.
Oh, I see. Well, la-di-da to you, monsieur.
Oh, yeah? Well, la-di-da to you back.
Whatever. You are neither qualified nor clever enough to operate such an instrument.
Like us.
What was that, Moo?
I said, unlike us, sir.
Have you been a detective long?
Long enough, monsieur?
You've solved a lot of crimes, I guess.
More than you have had hot dinners?
Well, I've had a lot of hot dinners, Inspector.
Oh, yes? How many?
What?
Precisely how many hot dinners have you had, monsieur?
I don't know. Thousands?
You prove my point for me, monsieur. Precision and accuracy are everything.
You truly are a unique and amazing man, Inspector Nave.
Well, I'm glad you are impressed.
I was sure I could get the machine to work if I could just get Nave out of the way. Inspector Nave. I know this sounds obvious, but are you sure it's plugged in?
Monsieur Stobbart, do you really think I would be so stupid as to not check the fundamentals?
We all make mistakes.
What a ridiculous generalization, monsieur. Look, I can see from here it's... Ah.
Do you need assistance, sir?
Very funny, Moo.
One moment.
That got rid of him. Now is my chance. I was going to have to figure that out quickly. The machine did nothing. I needed to set the switches into the correct positions. Time to get the show on the road.
See, Moo? I knew I would get it working.
I'm not sure that you...
Precisely. You knew my superior intellect would win through in the end.
Yes, sir. Sir, I beg your pardon, but I think there is a teeny snag.
Go on.
We have no victim.
Good God, Moo. Are you suggesting I kill someone for the sake of this reenactment?
No, sir. Just saying we need a body, sir.
Ah, yes. I see. You'll make a detective yet, Moo. I, of course, foresaw this, and I nominate... you.
Me? Well, I'm not dead.
Have you ever acted, Monsieur Stobbart?
Well, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I went down a storm playing the lead in Cat on a Felt-Tip Roof last summer.
Hmm. You played the cat?
No.
So, not the lead. Half-truths again, monsieur. Nevertheless, here is your chance to play a real lead role.
But he looks nothing like the victim, sir.
Oh, damn it, Moo. Must you find problems all the time? Let me think of a way to make this work.
Relying on Nave's problem-solving skills could mean a long, long wait. I had to find something to make me more like Henri. I'll have a look around. Maybe I'll find something.
Yes, you do that. Verisimilitude is the key, Stobbart. Ah, you have arrived at last. Please, make yourselves comfortable. We are just making some last-minute adjustments.
Father Simeon, Nico.
Hi, Josh.
Welcome to the asylum.
Let me guess. Nave is overjoyed we've solved the case and he's putting us up for an award.
Not quite. I told him about Shears and Medovsky. He says it's fantasy.
But that's crazy.
Tell me about it.
So what do we do now?
Carry on anyway, and nail Medovsky.
What about Nave?
Ignore him.
And this charade?
The reconstruction? Well, sooner it starts, sooner it's over.
Josh, what on earth is that machine?
It's Nave's baby. Supposedly, it's going to analyze the crime scene and tell us what happened.
But we already know what happened.
Sure we do. But Nave doesn't.
Quiet, please! How can I concentrate with all this racket going on?
Lane was right. Nave was an idiot. The best place to find Henri's things was in his office. On the head of the statue was a pair of Henri's glasses. Maybe, just maybe, the glasses would make me look like Henri. A naked lady stared at me seductively. The window looked out on the street. Outside, it was quiet. It was a lava lamp. Was I for or against? Or just indifferent? The desk was covered with Henri's junk, and none of it was of any use. Some of the stuff must have been collecting dust since the 70s. There was certainly nothing of any use. It was a statue of Henri. It was a statue of Henri bearing almost everything. A strategically placed fig leaf protected his modesty. It was a statue of Henri. It was a battered sofa. I opened the compartment again. I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. Using a paperclip to pick this lock would have been very impressive, if it had worked. The desk was covered with Henri's junk, and none of it was of any use. A 1600cc Type 2 VW camper, painted in hippie colors. It was a cheesy lava lamp. A 1600cc Type 2 VW camper, painted in hippie colors. That wouldn't work. That wasn't worth trying. It was the pair of glasses I'd taken from Henri's statue. I had to hurry up and get out of there, not waste time discussing everything I ever picked up. I found these glasses of Henri's.
Stole or found? Never mind. That might just do it. Come on, everyone, into position. I want everyone to stand precisely where they were when the victim died.
This process is ridiculous.
God moves in mysterious ways, Father.
Indeed. And the devil makes work for idle hands, Mr. Stobbart.
Shh! Stobbart, you are supposed to be dead. Please be dead more quietly.
I tried to tell Navet the truth about his bloodstain.
Didn't he believe you? You're a man of God.
His faith is in science, Mr. Stobbart, not God.
Father?
Yes, my son.
Last time we met, you said the stolen painting was evil.
Let me explain. I'm a Dominican, Mr. Stobbart. The Dominican order was founded to seek out and destroy heresy.
Why?
Because heresy is evil.
Okay.
For 1,000 years we have fought against heresy. Indeed, our enemies gave us a nickname, the Hounds of God. Dominicanis, Dominican. You see?
Very clever.
Now this painting, the Benedictio, is without doubt heretical.
Whoa, hold on. How can a painting be heretical?
Because it is filled with Gnostic imagery, and Gnostics are heretics.
What kind of imagery?
Evil imagery. The Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. Images of false saints, heretical saints.
So you think the painting itself is evil?
It trails murder in its wake, Mr. Stobbart.
And murder is police work, monsieur. Silence, please, both of you.
The Ouroboros. What exactly is it?
It is a Gnostic symbol. It marks something that is hidden. There are trees illustrated within the Ouroboros. They symbolize knowledge. So the Ouroboros alludes to hidden knowledge. The painting must be destroyed to stop this knowledge being revealed.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is the first set of results completed. Only 36 more to do. Please remain in position while we reset the machine. You may relax and talk amongst yourselves.
Who are these false saints?
Gnostic saints, not beatified by the Church. They question orthodoxy, lure the unwary down dark paths of forbidden knowledge, and condemn innocent souls to the fires of damnation.
You mean like a Black Sabbath album? Do you think the machine will give the inspector some insight into Henri's murder?
He will find the answers he seeks, but he asks the wrong questions. This was no ordinary murder.
Do you think Inspector Nave will ever figure this out?
I'm not sure, although I'm no expert.
Yeah, neither is he by the looks of it. You keep talking about the Gnostics. Who are they?
They are a cult, a warped branch of Christianity that reveres Lucifer as equal to, or perhaps greater than, God.
I can see how that might trouble the Vatican.
The Vatican is the least of your worries. Please be quiet!
Vade retro satana.
What's the matter?
It is worse than I thought.
What is it? It's just a sketch.
Not just a sketch. The painting.
I wondered if it was something I'd said.
I have to get out of here. Now.
Father Simeon, I forbid you to leave. This is an official investigation.
Don't you understand? A great evil is upon us. The painting is evil. The heretical Gnostics in league with the devil himself.
The devil?
Don't you understand? The tabula veritatis, the tablet of truth. It is real.
Well, well, someone is upset. Pressing your witnesses a little too hard, Inspector Nave?
And you are? This is official police business?
Richard Langham, Interpol, serious art theft. We spoke on the phone, Inspector?
Ah, yes, sir. You didn't say you would be attending my crime scene.
What exactly is this machine, Inspector?
A little invention of mine, Monsieur Langham. It will compute whose blood this is on the floor, and...
Not to worry, Inspector. Perhaps you could move aside? I'm intrigued to see what you're up to.
Ah, of course. It is rather groundbreaking.
Pizza box. It looks like your suspect was a Hawaiian, Inspector.
A Hawaiian? Mon Dieu! Mo! Get on to the Hawaiian embassy straight away. There is a surf killer on the loose. Alert the airports and the surf shops.
Sorry, Inspector. I mean, Hawaiian pizza. Your bloodstain is a pizza sauce.
Pizza? Mo! You fool! Forget the surf shops. Get on to the Italian embassy. This has mafia written all over it.
Nah, Inspector, if you don't mind, I'd like to speak to your witnesses. And in the meantime, perhaps you should try and get your priest back. Madame Collar, Mr. Stobbart, I assume. Can I buy you chaps a coffee?
Langham sounded a little more on the ball. Maybe he'd bring a dose of common sense to the case.
So, Inspector Nave brought me up to speed and told me about you guys.
I can guess what he said. But what's your interest in the robbery?
I've been tracking a gang of art thieves for some time, and this looked like a good lead. But Nave is worse than useless. I was hoping you might be able to help.
We're flattered.
Just doing our jobs.
We all are, or at least trying to. So, maybe we can help each other. I gather you insured the exhibition.
That's right, and we're liable to lose a packet.
Any leads so far?
Maybe. There's a Russian guy called Madovsky who turns out to be the owner of the painting.
Madovsky?
You know him?
Oligarch, oil, art, aluminium. Ex-KGB. Very nasty. You need to be careful. Medovsky's dangerous. He kills anyone who gets in his way.
For a cop, Langham seemed okay. Trouble with doing deals with cops, there's usually a payback down the line. But I figured that'd be a price worth paying to bring down Medovsky. We found evidence that links Medovsky to the company that installed the security at the gallery.
Interesting.
And one of his men, a guy called Shears, was in Paris on the day of the robbery.
Really?
We also found a letter from someone called Gainan wanting to buy the painting from Medovsky.
Gainan? The name rings a bell? Did you find anything else about him?
No, we were in a hurry.
What about the priest?
Ah, the good Father Simeon. Well, something spooked him, that's for sure.
So I gather.
He kept saying La Malediccio was evil.
Perhaps he's right. It certainly caused evil, hasn't it? I'll take leads from anyone, Mr. Stobbart, even a crazy priest. Let's keep in touch. Thank you for your help. Coffee's on me, or rather, on Interpol. Miss Collard, Mr. Stobbart.
So, George, what do you think?
Interesting. He seems to be on top of things.
I agree.
You know, Nico, this could start getting dangerous.
You think Langham's right about Medovsky?
Well, he appears to be on the ball.
I thought he was cute.
He was English, Nico. They're all cute to you.
Hidden depths, too.
Oh, yeah? What about my hidden depths?
You showed me those long ago, George. Well, I'm off home to write up the story so far. You?
I need to pay Bijou another visit. She's not been completely honest with me. Bijou had told me she didn't have anything to do with the business. But Lane said the opposite. One of them was lying. The door was locked.
Yes?
Bijou, it's George again. The air was heavy with incense and alcohol. Reminded me of the old alma mater. What happened?
Josh, please help me. I am lost. Oh, help me. You must help me.
What's wrong, Bijou?
I can't play our song. I've lost Henri and now our song.
You mean the record? How did it happen?
I stumbled and trod on it by mistake.
What song was it, Bijou?
I'm lost without it. Lost, lost.
The name of the song, Bijou.
Jasmine. It was our song.
I'll see what I can do. Lane tells me you've got the provenance, that you did all the paperwork for the gallery.
Oh dear, my head is going round and round and round.
Bijou, I need to know.
All the papers are in the safe, in the gallery office. Stop asking all these questions.
Bijou, where's the key to the safe?
Henri? You're not Henri. I'm keeping the key just like Henri asked.
Could I borrow that key, please?
Oh, I need my tune. Nothing else matters.
I couldn't get any sense out of her in that state. I had to find a way to get the safe key. Who sang the song?
My darling Henri, of course. You got to #2 in the Swedish charts. I was so proud. Get me another one, George. Oh, please tell me you will.
I guess I can try.
Oh, you're a darling.
I felt terrible. I was anything but a darling. All I was really after was the key to the safe. Look, Bijou, I brought Henri's glasses.
Oh, Henri, what will I do without you?
I didn't think there was much point. Bijou wasn't in any state to make sense. Does this smell good to you?
Henri, is that you, my sweet?
She'd had enough to drink already. I didn't think there was much point. Bijou wasn't in any state to make sense.
Please help me.
The subject stared casually out at the world. A subtle birthmark was the only blemish on the model's flawless skin. Bijou's favorite record was smashed beyond repair. There was no way it could be fixed. There was no record on the turntable. Bijou had been at the Champagne in a big way. Henri looked very much at peace. I arrived back at the shopping arcade. The Vera's shutters were down again. The police had probably cleared it out. Hey, Bassam, how's business?
Good to see you, George. Gotta say, the new branding's hitting the demographic right between the eyes.
Sold anything?
This is a soft market, George. Look to the margins. Look to the margins.
What's your latest bargain?
Bargain? I prefer the word incentivizer, George. Look at the store. Something for everyone, and everything for someone.
Bassam wouldn't want to see that. I didn't think there was much point. Do you like whiskey? I'm afraid it's a cheap brand.
No.
Bassam, what's your verdict on this?
Sorry, George. I can't help you with that.
I didn't think there was much point.
Any other bargains?
Got a batch of phone covers.
Let me guess. Rhinestones?
Got it in one.
Thank you. I had a closer look at Bassam's stock.
Check it out, George. I've had quite a stock update, and I've got to say the metrics on some of this stuff is startling.
Bobbins and threads. The stock range on the stall was impressive. They looked interesting. A stack of those cards that play music when you open them. There was a stack of books, but all in Greek from the looks of it. What are those things?
Oil pots, all empty.
They looked interesting. A stack of those cards that play music when you open them. Bassam's lunch made my stomach growl.
George, what can I do for you?
Does one of your cards play the song Jasmine?
Sounds familiar. Let me check the database. I think that's by the Hairy Lobsters.
Bassam certainly knew his stock.
Aha! Here it is.
How much?
It's yours, if you mention my shop to 3 other people.
Done. Thanks. Any other bargains?
Not since you last asked.
Thank you. The door was locked.
Bijou, it's George again.